A treatment session using Neuro Emotional Technique can be conducted in many ways. NET can be used in a brief manner to process one particular area of concern, or it can be used more thematically to cover a variety of presenting dynamics. This longer treatment portrayal video shows how I use NET with Ananda during what resembles a 45-minute treatment session.
Practice is great, there's a lot of outside projects, but trying to maintain it all, having a life outside of work, and trying to have time to relax and still clean your house.
Right.
But for the most part, everything's great, but it's, can I keep up with it all? Can I maintain all of what is being offered to me?
So a little bit of overwhelm.
Yeah, for sure.
Ananda then goes on to describe that when she starts to get burned out, she wakes up feeling anxious. I help Ananda process this feeling using an NET feeling entry, which is portrayed in the feeling entry short portrayal video.
Keep that feeling. Light pressure right here. Hand across your forehead. Yeah. Be in that moment at 6. I've got to be perfect to do it all, to be okay.
Ananda processes emotions related to this snapshot from age 6 that help her become less disturbed by her current overwhelm. Yet at this point, the treatment session is just beginning, and I continue to surround this theme by asking Ananda to repeat the statement, "I'm okay without doing it all."
I'm okay without doing it all.
I'm okay without doing it all.
The dominant emotion that surfaces for Ananda is resentment, specifically about not being able to keep up with every opportunity.
It's almost like there's just not enough time and energy to give the proper fullness of me to all of these things.
You can't give the fullness of yourself to everything.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
As I continue to probe with Ananda, I help refine the issue at hand using the muscle biofeedback response.
Something Ananda will miss out somewhere. Yeah, the concept of resenting yourself because you can't have every experience.
Because I didn't do enough to have it all.
The concept of resenting yourself because you didn't do enough to have it all.
The NET process takes us again to age 6, and Ananda resenting herself for not doing enough, while her mom was seeking to do it all and have it all for Ananda and her sister. The result is that Ananda still tries to prove her worth to mom today.
The concept that you want to make sure to do it all.
To like make her know it was worth having me.
Yeah. The concept of you wanting to make sure that mom knows you're worth it.
And that I'm living life to the fullest
And
because she brought me
Then
here.
you're living life to the fullest.
Yeah.
Yeah, the concept of you still trying to prove to mom that I'm worth it and living life to the fullest and can be the perfect daughter.
I then help Ananda connect these present-day feelings back to her self-resentment at age 6, and I lead her into the correction process.
Get that feeling?
Yeah.
Keep that feeling. Keep that feeling.
Deep.
Deep.
After Ananda processes her feeling of letting down mom, Ananda repeats the statement, "I'm okay without doing it all," and the muscle biofeedback response is now strong. I then surround the issue even more, asking Ananda to repeat additional statements until I find another related incongruity.
I'm worthy of being imperfect. Because in my head, I'm like, that's not true. So the resentment that for me in my head, I'm like, that's not reality.
Yeah.
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 Why is it not reality?
Why is that not reality? Because if I was imperfect, somewhere like in my emotional brain, it would be like just that. It's like I'm just not perfect. And I guess that if I'm not perfect, then it's like the rabbit hole, not worthy of being loved.
Perfection and worthiness are tied together for you.
Totally.
I then help Ananda find the original event where there was resentment because of having to be perfect to be worthy. The muscle biofeedback response leads to Ananda having to change schools at age 16.
But at my old school, like I was very well loved, very well respected. Like it was hard to leave that like area of praise to go into this like unknown, people don't know me. You know, so it's kind of like however they're going to perceive me, however I'm going to show up, they're going to perceive me as. So like, better be good.
I then help Ananda connect this feeling to her resentment in that moment and lead her into the NET correction.
And was there part of you that like, this is reality to me, but I really hate this?
Not like I really hate it, but I hated that it felt so much pressure.
Okay, so you resented
Yeah,
the pressure.
totally.
Resented the pressure you had to build up under that feeling. I've got to be real. I've got to be on my game all the time, and I resent the pressure. Just that feeling at 16.
Yeah.
Keep that feeling. Light touch here.
When Ananda has finished processing, I check for other emotions that the body would like to process, and then I have her repeat the statement, "I'm worthy of being imperfect." The muscle biofeedback response is now strong.
Now, when we talk about being imperfect, right? And I just talk about it being okay to be imperfect, and you're human, and this is just life, and you're wonderful and successful and beautiful and great.
Yeah.
Do you feel any kind of resistance in your body? Do you feel
Maybe a little. It literally feels like just like a funnel.
it's just a whole body funnel through you?
Yeah.
I then begin the NET process using a feeling entry and discover the related dynamic and emotion that will lead to the original event. The testing leads to Ananda and her lack of control, especially being unable to surrender into the present moment in the face of life's events feeling overwhelming.
Can't surrender into it.
Concept that you can't surrender into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take the concept of the original event where there was a lack of control because of not being able to surrender into a present moment. Let's take the concept of when you were conception to age 10. Conception to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Concept of 9. 9, not being able to surrender into a present moment. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
Triple back handspring on the second
Whole
one.
part of you I never knew.
Yeah, the second one, I don't even know how it happened in such a way, but it was this arm, and it was these two bones that connect here. I'm freaking out because like it hurts, and I'm like, your arm doesn't look right.
Yeah.
But probably like that panic. Oh, and this makes me want to cry. Mom was like working so much, she almost didn't come with me to the hospital because like they couldn't get a hold of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like my babysitter that lived with us came, and like at the last second they were like closing the doors. Mom like jumps into the ambulance with me.
But do you remember the feeling of mom's not here, she's not going to be here, she's working too much, and I can't change this?
Yeah.
Hand across your forehead. Deep breaths. That total lack of control when I don't even have my mom. And I broke my arm. Okay.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Well, it's funny because I've talked about that memory, but I've never cried about it.
Mm.
Like I could logistically, I suppose, remember what happened, but it wasn't like the emotional body was there with it.
I then help Ananda locate another emotion for processing.
Let's look at that picture. Let's check the concept of lost, vulnerable. Your feeling of vulnerability.
Yeah.
Can you remember the 9-year-old girl vulnerable without my mom in the
Yeah.
ambulance before she comes darting through the door? Keep that feeling. Light touch right here. What does it feel like to sit with that?
It's the memory comes in super vividly and clearly. And it's like I can remember like all the the camp counselors are like 20, 21, so
yeah.
like they're kids who are like kind of adults. So they're trying not to freak out, and they're also like, her mom's not answering the phone. But it was like that moment of like, I knew I was gonna be fine, but I wanted like mom's comfort
Right.
there. So being vulnerable, like without her
Yeah.
presence there. But yeah.
Okay. So vulnerable in that moment without mom's presence.
Yeah.
After Ananda has processed one more emotion related to this situation at 9, I ask her to again feel the small amount of anxiety from minutes before. The muscle biofeedback response is now strong, and she notes that the feeling itself seems to have cleared.
So when you think about it now, right, that
Yeah.
anxiety that was still hanging out, the 5 or 2, how does it feel now?
Like none.
At the end of this approximately 45-minute treatment session, Ananda and I have used NET to process 4 different but related dynamics in the present that are each affected by various past experiences. The ability to identify these stressors with their related emotions and process them cognitively, emotionally, and somatically is a hallmark of the NET process.